Yeah, check the hair. All right, we are here with the Deep Shadows from El Paso, Texas. Just played a fantastic show here at Eyeconik Records. So glad for you guys to be here. I would just love to know how you guys got connected with one another and how you guys started playing.
I used to play in a band, and me and some of the other dudes in the band, we went to this art show, and we saw this dude playing drums. And funny thing was, like, in my mind, I knew I had to meet him and play with him. I just loved his style. And sure enough, we ended up collaborating with some other people, and I was like, "That's that guy." We ended up like being in another band together. So he knows him.
We were living together, and I was just super down when he asked me because he was like, "Hey, I'm practicing with this guy Marcos,"
and also when Marcos went into the art show, I was well aware of who he was because I was a huge fan of his old band, Zex Marquis. I was like I was a big fan of theirs before I knew them.
Well, me and Joaquin played in a band together.
Oh yeah.
Some bands, or just one band.
And then the singer, we both used to work at the mall in El Paso.
What store?
Times.
What store?
Banana Republic. No, I don't.
Yeah.
It was one of those, it kept me alive for a while, you know. Whatever, you know. But he played in other bands in El Paso a long time ago, and we'd sort of play shows together, and we kind of ran into each other again, you know, through work. And then he hit me up. I broke up with that other band. Not that we broke up, you know, but things just didn't work out. And then we put it all together. Yeah.
Very cool. What music was playing in the house when you guys were growing up? Meaning, what did your parents listen to? What, either albums, radio station, whatever? What was going on in the house?
I was always listening to whatever my mom played, which was like Prince and a lot of like 80s sort of things. A lot of radio music, really, growing up. I don't know. John Cougar Mellencamp. You know, like one song of every band, you know? You know how it is, right? Like the hits, and that's all I listen to. It's top 100 or something.
Me, I don't really know what, like, my parents, I don't mean, like, I grew up, like, in, you know, a Mexican household, obviously, so, like cumbias and stuff like that. I don't know, but my dad, like,
rhythmic?
Yeah, my dad likes, like, Led Zeppelin, I guess. I got into, like, I started listening to jazz when I was kind of in middle school, I guess, when I started playing drums. So I guess, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, same with me. I couldn't say that my home life growing up was necessarily an influence for me musically. My mom just listened to, like, my mom was super into Rod Stewart, Michael Bolton, stuff like that. My dad, like, he used to bring home, like, ZZ Top. But my brother is probably who got me into music, but he used to play, he used to love, like, punk rock bands, like 90s, you know, Bay Area punk rock bands. So that to me was like, look at those dudes on stage, and my brother got a guitar and he has tattoos. I was like, I gotta play music. But I don't know about.
So, a question off the list, because since you guys pretty much listen to nothing that you guys are playing right now,
Yeah, pretty much.
how did you guys get into playing what you're playing right now? Because it's just funky cool.
I know for me, some of the guys that I went to high school, their brothers were all in bands and stuff. And so their brothers would show them just the most insane music, but it was really after high school where we started, you know, discovering, you know, Miles Davis and just jazz and that sort of thing. And then jazz, like lately, jazz, hip hop, soul, funk, that's definitely been like my theme, you know. I don't know about these guys.
Yeah, for sure. I guess we all, like, kind of came to this separately. Like,
You're like, oh, we can all play this well together, so might as well play it.
Yeah.
And it makes us feel good and everyone else feel good.
All,
So.
I mean, but now, we're all huge, you know, music lovers. I've been in here twice, and both times I spent, you know, probably more than $120.
I'm sure Justin and April appreciate that sincerely.
It will happen again too. It definitely works, you know.
I mean, I'm always into those like crime shows, so the groove of those are like
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm a huge SVU fan.
Yeah, the on-miss tones.
Yeah.
Very cool. Because the bass tonight, listen, the bass just stuck out. Like everyone was fantastic.
Yeah.
Drums,
Thanks.
guitar,
Thanks.
vocals,
Holding it down,
but
yeah.
for there's some reason the bass just sung out. It rang in my soul. It was very, very cool.
Dude, that makes me feel
Very
good.
cool. Absolutely. I hope you feel good, man. I hope you feel good.
This guy told me that it sounds like the bass is talking. I was like, you're so nice. That was cool. Thanks.
And I mean, admittedly, I'm I think more than 10 years older than you guys.
Yeah, actually.
So and part of the reason I like playing with them is because they keep up more with what's current. I try to do it, but I have kids, a full-time job. These guys do their own thing too, but it's just so hard for me to keep up with what's going on nowadays. And these guys are always showing me, what's current. So
That's cool. And speaking of current, who's out there that you guys would love to open for or play with or collaborate with?
long list.
Yeah, I
Right?
would say right off the top of my head, the Internet is like my favorite band right
The internet's
now.
super good. I mean that whole kind of vibe. Anderson .Paak,
Anderson .Paak, Robert Glasper, I guess the Roots.
The Roots.
And that's funny because I'm 43 and I've been seeing them since they were kids.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's sort of one. I mean,
SZA
Erykah
right now is
Badu,
killing it. Erykah Badu, same vein.
Kate Renata, this dude showed me
Kate
Kate
Renata.
Renata.
Man, there's so much right now.
Yeah, I mean, just that kind of stuff, What about rock bands?
I couldn't
Lightning
say.
Bolt. You guys remember? Did you guys ever check out Lightning Bolt? Battles.
Battles.
Of course, I'm a huge fan of everything that sort of comes out of the Mars Volta family. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, but I mean, rock's definitely a huge influence on me as well.
And there's been so many, sadly, deceased, just fantastic artists. What are artists from whatever time, whatever genre? What are those artists that have passed that you would love to have played with?
David Bowie. I missed.
Yeah.
Missed out on that.
Oh man. I mean, there's some of the obvious ones like Hendrix and things of that sort. Wes Montgomery, even James Brown. And of course, there's tons of obscure artists too that we're all into. And, I mean, honestly, the list could go on forever. But it's one of those things. I literally have I collect records and I have like a list of like thousands of records that I want on Excel. And I study it, but every time I walk into a record store, I'm like, what was on my list again? So when you ask me that question, I'm like, I got this, but I can't think of
Whoever shows up at that moment, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what's meant to be.
Yeah.
And last question, if you were to play at any exotic place, any place in the world, for anyone, whether it be the Pope, whoever, where would you want to be, or who would you want to play for?
Let me think about that. I would just love to go abroad. I would like to play in Japan for some weird reason. Like some artists.
Yeah.
They love good music over there.
Yeah. Artists secretly go there and then they're huge in Japan. Like it'd be cool to say that we're big in Japan.
I've been getting into like late '60s, like psychedelic Turkish type of stuff. So
My best friend lives in Turkey.
No way.
Istanbul.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does.
And there's this like Anatolian rock scene, and I've just heard amazing things about Turkey before I started getting, all the unfortunate things are happening. But that would have been rad, to play there like in the '60s or '70s with some of the super obscure, funk bands. Out there, It's hard to find that stuff too. Really hard to find that stuff.
Right on.
I don't know. I'd love to play anywhere.
I love Las Cruces.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here. Blessed. I'd love to go to anywhere that they would
Canada.
allow me to play. I'd love to go to Canada. That's my answer. Canada.
Canada's cool.
They're super nice up there. Well, the Deep Shadows, thank you guys so much for being here at Eyeconik Records and just hanging out with us.
Yeah.
And we look forward to the next
It was
time.
a good night.
All right.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys.